Hi, I'm Jill Michelle Melian, and welcome to Inside Joke, the show that takes a peek inside the lives of today's hottest comedians. Our first comedian, when he was a kid, was teased for his bright red hair and given the nickname Rooster. Apparently, his hair was a fashion cock-a-doodle-don't in the tough neighborhood that he grew up in. Let's take a look at Darren Carter, the party starter.
I grew up in Fresno, a very blue-collar neighborhood. I was a minority among minorities. I was the only redheaded white kid in like a 10-mile radius, you know, at least that I know of, and predominantly like Latino neighborhood. And I'm also adopted.
I grew up in a Latin neighborhood. I didn't know I looked different. People remind me, right? I'd be walking to school from behind me. Orderly, what's up, fireball? What's up, Richie Cunningham? Well, you redheaded rooster. Guess who, you rooster?
At first, I didn't like being called Rooster. You know, like these kids were like, Rooster, and I walk in from behind me. In fact, once I almost got into a fight with this dude. I was like, I'm tired of it, I'm tired of Rooster. And so it was right after Rocky 3 came out, and I was watching the whole summer, and I was like, I'm gonna be like Rocky. So I challenged this guy to a fight. We're like, okay, after school, I'll meet you, and the school is by the projects, right? So the guy's like, all right, meet me across the street at the projects. We're like, all right. So then everyone was like, ooh, you know, Darren's gonna fight Larry. Darren's gonna fight Larry, and I didn't know how to fight, but I was all pumped up because I just seen Rocky 3 a bunch of times. So I was just talking a bunch of trash, and he and his boy were like walking away. They were getting, the further they got, the louder I got, and I was like, come on, fool, you ain't nothing, fool. And I started doing like my Mr. T impression, you know, dead meat. And then what scared the hell out of me was he actually stopped, and like I saw him talk to this other dude, this really tall guy, and then they started coming back towards us. And then people were like, oh yeah, it's on now, it's on, yeah. Yeah, and I was like, seriously, my heart started pounding, and I was like, ugh, like what's gonna happen? And this dude came up, he was this 6'5" black dude, right? And he comes up and he looked, and I remember he had like those mechanic coveralls on, and he had this cigarette, and he looked at all the kids that were in the crowd, and he goes, which one of y'all trying to fight my nephew? And I was like, that would be me, sir. Over here. And he goes like this, he goes, y'all squash this, shake hands, I'll make y'all fight till I see blood. And dude, he didn't even have to finish his sentence. My hand was all like this. And I was like, look, man, I really don't want to fight. I just don't like being called Rooster. And he was just kind of like, he was looking down. He was like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, I won't do that anymore. And then we became friends, I guess, we became friends after that. I guess that's what happened with kids, People stopped calling me Rooster for a while, and then people started kind of doing it like in a friendly way. And then I kind of started liking the name.
They called me Rooster, I never knew why. Then I look back at pictures of myself. I had long, bouncy, bright red hair, a heavy backpack. I walk, I look like this.
I started making people laugh, I think early, like in first grade and second grade, and then it just kind of built up. I just kept writing jokes down, little ideas down, and in 10th grade I had a teacher, an English teacher, and she would tell the class, she was like, if you guys behave, Darren will come up and do some comedy. So I go up there, and I was like 14, 15, and I would do my little Michael Jackson, thank you very much. And I wanted to get I wore like the Thriller jacket and had the Jerry curl. My mom wouldn't let me have a Jerry curl, so I would just like wet my hair in between classes, and no one thought I was Michael Jackson. They thought I was just a nerd with no blow dryer.
Hey guys, I don't smoke weed. I'll tell you why. I don't want my eyes to be the same color as my hair. Right? That'll mess up the party. Hey, homie, hit some. All right. Damn, why you get all crazy? It's the Chupacabra. What's up? Kick back. El Diablo, 555 plus 1. That's not 666. I'm not good at math, Holmes.
I always realized I could make a living because it's all I've known, really. I was in college, and I worked at the radio station in Fresno, and I did comedy at night, so I was always, it's pretty much all I've done. I've never had, thank God, I've never had like a full-time job doing anything else. So I've always made a living off comedy. To what degree of living, that's different.
When we come back, we'll find out how Darren conquered one of his biggest fears. And we'll also find out about his wacky experience performing for the Snoop Dogg Dizzle himself. So we'll be right back. So Dizzle, don't touch the Dizzle Whizzle, because we're going to change and have a little fun in a hizzle. Oh, shoot, yeah. I should be a rapper. I'm good. break, we found out how Darren discovered having a bad hair day can actually help make good friends. Who would have thunk it? Now let's see how he parlayed that newfound confidence in performing for tougher audiences, like Snoop Dogg's family reunion. I'm sure that party was stocked with munchies.
Hey, what's up? This is Darren Carter, the party starter. And right now we're in a van driving around Los Angeles and we're looking for something to happen. I'm gonna conquer my fears. You know, I used to be afraid to do comedy in lines. And one of my first professional comedy jobs is I got hired to work at the theme park, Great America. And they had this idea that what they would do is hire people to do atmosphere. And that means keep people entertained in line for roller coasters. But the only hitch is most of those people were either jugglers or they walked on stilts. I was the only stand-up comedian. And it was really hard because there was like no microphone, no speakers, just people in line. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna recreate this. They're like, hey, Darren Carter, the party starter, you wanna start a party? Well, we got a line for you. These people are in line, they have no idea what's gonna happen. We're gonna bust open these doors and just swoop on them. Drop some comedy. But the rooster is gonna crow. Go, 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 go! Let's do this. Stay in there, McGee. Come on. Daps. Let's do this. I got love on the street. Yeah! What's up? Yeah! My kind of line. All right, here we go. All the ladies in the house, let me hear you say, hey!
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 Now let me hear you say, That's right. Some of you know me as the Rooster, some of you know me as Darren, but ladies, I'm not Darren, I'm Darren. Oh, yeah, Darren. Once you go red, you jump back in the bed. I like my women like I like my, help me out. Movies. I like my women like I like my movies. Coming soon. I like my women like I like my French toast, covered in syrup and well stacked.
That's fine.
I like my women like I like my underwear. White and tight. And a hole in the front. That's right. Hey. I am Darren Carter, the Rooster. Y'all been a great line. We'll see you next time.
I love hip-hop. I like Snoop Dogg. He's a cool rapper, isn't he? He's got that laid-back style, like everything's gonna be okay. They should put Snoop's face at the bottom of the television when you're watching the news, just so you feel good, right? Like, oh my God, the world is so depressing. Nah, biatch, it's all good.
For the last, I'd say, I think it's been about 3 summers, I performed at Snoop's family reunion. And the way this went down is his cousin, he saw me at a show, and he comes up to me after the show and he was like, I'm Snoop Dogg's cousin, we love your comedy, man, we've seen you on TV, and I really would think it would be cool if you performed at our family reunion. It's not just Snoop, it's like the whole family, you know? And I was like, okay, is this for real, or am I gonna like go to some restaurant and, you know, oh, Snoop couldn't make it, you know? So I was like, all right. They told me, now keep it clean, no swear words. And I'm like, what? You got Snoop Dizzle over here, you know? Bow wow, girls gone wild. Ooh, wait. And they were like, well, remember there's kids here and old ladies and, you know, so. Yeah, they told me to keep it clean, so I was clean. You know, I got a little dirtier by the 3rd year, you know. The kids were older.
Tomorrow there's a slight chance of rain. For shizzle, dizzle, it's a drizzle.
I did Snoop, they loved it, it was great, you know. And it's easy to do it when you're right there in front of him because he really talks like that. You know, this next comic's got red hot jokes, he's red on top, you know. And I told him, I said, hey Snoop, these reunions are cool, but let's do some movies together. And he was like, oh yeah, baby, big and better things for sure.